Hi guys, and welcome to the Pet Quarter community. In this video we are going to be reviewing Cesar dog food. Before we start though, I want to caveat the video with a few things. The first one is we do not get paid, we do not get commissions by anybody, and we are free to say and think whatever we want about different brands. We are able to examine different brands and different dog foods, and we can give our honest, unbiased opinion. Now, Cesar is one of the most recognizable, most popular, most readily available, widely available brands of dog and cat food. You can find it anywhere. You can find it in Pets at Home, you can find it in B&Q, you can find it in any big box retailer, you can find it in supermarkets, you can find it absolutely anywhere. And the reason why it is so popular and it's so widely available is because it belongs to Mars Incorporated. Yes, the chocolate company, which has an incredible power and supply chain, and they are able to literally produce and sell this food wherever you want and wherever you go in the world. Let's get into it. We are going to be reviewing different ingredients and different recipes, and they are all very similar. Whenever you get into the pet food industry, a brand will be good or a brand will be bad, and they will all have very similar recipes. Whether they say diabetes, whether they say weight management, whether they say puppy, large breed, French bulldog or golden retriever, it doesn't really matter. A good food is a good food and a bad food is a bad food, and brands tend to be either good or bad depending on the ingredients and depending on the recipes they utilize. Nonetheless, we are going to be reviewing different recipes. The first one is going to be the Cesar Country Adult Wet Dog Food Stew Special Selection. The ingredients are incredible. So we have meat and animal derivatives, 43%, of which natural 92%, including beef 4% and liver 4%. The rest, we don't really know what it is because they don't tell you. We have derivatives of vegetable origin, bakery products, including pasta 1.2%. Why would you put pasta in pet food? It's a high glycemic carbohydrate. Anyway, I digress. We then have dried carrots, 0.3%, equivalent to 4% carrots, minerals, vegetable protein extracts, etc., etc. We then have another recipe, and it says meat and animal derivatives, 43%, of which natural, again with an asterisk, 92%, including chicken liver 4%, the other, we don't know what it is. Derivatives of vegetable origin, vegetables, including dried carrots and peas, 0.8%. Basically, the food you are given is very unspecific. We have meat and animal derivatives. We only know that 4% is beef, 4% is liver, and we know that 92% of that 43% is natural. The other percentage, we don't really know what it is. They don't tell you, they don't want to tell you. They will use whatever is available at that particular time, and it won't be the best cuts of meat. So that's the first recipe. The second recipe we are going to look at is the Cesar Wet Senior Dog Food, and this is the selection in jelly, ladies and gentlemen. So we have composition with beef and rice, meat and animal derivatives 44%. We have again natural 92%, the rest we don't know what it is, including beef 4%. We then have cereals, which is a very high glycemic carbohydrate and refined ingredient, and we have 1% rice, equivalent to cooked rice 4%. And then we have derivatives of vegetable origin. So again, we have your meat and animal derivatives, your natural 92%, your 44%, including turkey 4%, liver 4%, but we have cereals, and if your dog has any sort of allergy, any sort of intolerance, anytime you feed your dog meat and animal derivatives, something so unspecific, you will not know whether that food is triggering something within your dog or not, because what you are feeding is not specific. The third recipe we are going to look at is the Cesar Classics Adult. The Cesar Classics. And again, with succulent beef and liver composition, meat and animal derivatives. This is 55%. The rest, we do not know what it is. 95% is natural. The other 5%, we don't know. They don't tell you. 4% beef, which is a very small amount of beef, if you ask me. And then we have chicken liver, 4%. We then have cereals, minerals, derivatives of vegetable origin, and vegetable protein extracts. In other recipes, we have meat and animal derivatives, 55%, of which natural 95%, including 4% chicken liver and turkey 4% with your cereals and your derivatives of vegetable origin. The one thing you need to understand about foods like these is that they are ultra processed. They are manufactured at such a high scale that it is impossible for Cesar to give you specific amounts of what they are going to put in the food, because they do not know what proteins are going to be available in what batches. And because the food is produced at such a large scale, we see products and we see ingredients and we see quality watered down. And let me tell you something, meat and animal derivatives and cereals, rice, they are not the best ingredients. They are not the best ingredients to be putting in your dog, especially if your dog has a specific health issue, if your dog itches, if your dog has allergies, or if you want your dog to live a very happy, healthy life. We always say that in the pet food industry, there are two categories of food. In one camp, we have rice, wheat, barley, corn, soy, meat and animal derivatives, sugar, rapeseed oil, and other low quality food. If you see a food with cereals, meat and animal derivatives, we try to tell people to stay away from those foods, because those tend to be inflammatory, tend to be unspecific, and tend to not be very good quality for dogs. And in the other camp, we have the freshly prepared free-range chicken, the dried lamb, the raw turkey liver, the fresh broccoli, the fresh apples, the butternut squash, and those tend to be more wholesome, better ingredients for dogs. And we find that dogs in this second camp live much better lives, are much better fed, they have better coats, they go to the toilet a lot better, don't itch, they are healthy, their teeth and their gut don't suffer because they are being fed properly. What do we think about Cesar? We would never ever sell this sort of food. We only sell a selected amount of different foods that are incredible for dogs, and you can shop down below. And if you compare any of our foods with Cesar, you will see a stark difference. You will see freshly prepared free-range chicken as opposed to meat and animal derivatives. You will see fresh apples or butternut squash as opposed to cereals and as opposed to derivatives of vegetable origin. We believe that your dog should be fed a high quality food. These mass-produced foods tend to water down the quality of the food because they are mass-produced. And because they are mass-produced, they can't really pinpoint what they are putting in the food specifically. And as a result, dogs oftentimes develop allergies and develop all sorts of health issues because of the ultra processing of the food. And it's very, very similar to what has been happening with us, with your McDonald's and with your refined sugars and that sort of thing. There's a lot more people being diabetic and there's a lot more people having health issues because of their diet. And a lot of what we see with dogs is that their diet really dictates their health conditions and their overall health. So we wouldn't sell Cesar, we wouldn't recommend Cesar if you want to buy and consume Cesar and want to buy it for your dog, then more power to you. I have nothing against anybody, but we would never sell this sort of thing. We are against meat and animal derivatives, and we are against derivatives of vegetable origin. I don't like to not knowing what goes into my dog. So whenever people start talking about cereals and derivatives of whatever, and they are very unspecific about the amount of protein or the amount of or that ingredient, this ingredient that is going into the food, I grow very, very skeptical. So that has been Cesar. We don't like it, we don't recommend it. What do you think? I will see you in the next one.